Hey, what's up? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. Finished my workout, started the laundry, started the dishes. There's a lot of stuff that I got to do. I'm like trying to get a little schedule going while my wife is in her recovery. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that's very important. It broke the news yesterday, but I did a video on this probably more than a month ago, and it's about debt collectors now having the legal right to contact you by social media. I'll say it again: debt collectors now have the legal right after the first of the year to contact you by social media. That means they're going to be peeking in, looking at what you're doing, and I'm going to go into detail about why that's important when it comes to debt collectors. Because when they do court summons, they've been put using this little trick in there to get the judges to be more on their side. Uh, but before I start, want to, I have to uh, let you know about something else that had happened last week also, which unbelievably I did not place in my video. And this is something that's very important. Also, you know what's going on with my wife, but also my executive secretary, Terry Mahan, passed away the previous Thursday, not last Thursday, the Thursday before. And she was the second employee that I hired to work for my publishing company back in 1996. She's been working for me since 1996. I mean, that's a long time to work for somebody. And uh, I couldn't believe when I made the video, I was like, I didn't even mention Terry in there. Uh, but uh, I consider her the first employee of my publishing company because the first one really only worked for like 6 months, and then we went some years without hiring anyone, and then we hired Terry, and she was like she knows everything about, or she knew everything about the whole business. She knew like my attitude. She knew she could actually tell me. She was older than me by 20 years, but she could like tell me like, hey, you need to calm down on this or that. uh, she trained me on how to be more compassionate with dealing with people. And I also taught her a lot about stuff with computers, using software, because she, did not know a lot about it, but we did train her on it. So she will be missed by the entire company, by all of my company. Everyone had to go through Terry, no matter which company you were dealing with my companies that are based in Milwaukee. No matter what you had to do when you walked in that office, her desk was in front of was it was 2 rows, so you couldn't even get to me without talking to her. And she knew what days I wanted to talk to people, and she knew what days I didn't want to talk to people. And so she will be missed. And today is her funeral, 12/19/2020. Um, so now let's move on now with what's going on with them, with debt collectors being able to trace people with using social media. Now, this is why this is so important. Like, some people think like, well, what's the big deal about it? Even though they don't want people like looking in on them, but they are still saying like, what is the big deal about it? And in a previous video, I had started showing, because I see a lot of court summons, people send them to me, and I was reading them, and I was like, why are they putting this information in here this way? And what they were doing is they were saying that the individual benefited from the use of that card. They enrich, they use terminology like they enriched themselves off of the use of the credit that was used, that was given to them. And now on one that I just recently responded to, they went into more detail and they actually entered it in several lines of the court complaint, of the summons complaint, to get across to the judge that this individual must pay us back because they enriched themselves, not just because they owe us the money. They are building the case that they are enriching themselves. And now, what I believe is going to start happening. See, everybody focuses on the debt collector trying to find you. The debt collector is trying to find you, and they're using social media. That's what the news is, letting you know about. That's what in my other video I was letting you know about it. But I express also what I'm talking about here. But everybody else is focused on them just being able to go into your social media account to try to track you down, maybe harass you that way, talk to some friends, say, hey, we trying to reach out to John. John not responding. Can you help us out? That's like the obvious. That's the obvious part of it. But let me tell you the part that is not obvious is that I'm predicting in the court summons complaints that they will start building the case with pictures. They will start building the case with messages that are on your post and anything that they can see to prove enrichment of yourself. They don't have to necessarily show technically that what you have is from the use of that card, but they would really love to try to put two and two together because now they have the statements of what you purchased with the card. They have pictures of you potentially maybe wearing something, showing off a watch, stating that you took a trip somewhere to make connections of the dots to build the case. This is what's going to happen. I predict it and I know it's going to happen because on the court summons, the ones that I've been receiving, what they do is they will first state in the complaint about the enrichment. They used to just put the amount. Now they're actually going into a little more detail to try to prove enrichment of use of the card or the credit. And then they attach the statements to prove the enrichment by saying attachments A, B, C, whatever. And then that's the statements. But now they're going to have attachments. A is the statements connected with the complaint. Attachment B with pictures or messages or some sort of text, because they can also reach out to you by text. They used to couldn't text an individual. Now they can actually send a text message. So now they have the line in the complaint. They had attachments. They had a statement of enrichment. They have the statement showing what was purchased. They had the attachments of Facebook posts, pictures, information from Facebook, and then they also have text message screenshots that they attach about how they've tried to contact you, how they've tried to give you the opportunity to say something about it. They're building the case to make it harder for you to be able to just win in court. Now, let's talk about the solution on it. Basically, this is going to come down to third-party collections. Third-party collections are the only one that's going to really be, that number one is the only one that you can really fight this way. If you had an original creditor, you need to get with them and try to work out some type of agreement so it doesn't get to this point. Work out some sort of agreement with the original creditor, because if it gets to this point, these people are going to be dogged going after you and building a case and making it even harder. And if they get in front of the wrong judge that just does not allow you to uh, state your case, or if you don't even respond and you just go to court and they have all this information and you don't have any type of response other than, I don't know how I'm going to pay this debt, or I want to see the contract, that is not going to cut it. You're going to have a good defense against what they're providing, and then at least had opportunity to try to get them to either back off because there's some technicality that they feel that they won't be able to overcome in court, or that they don't want to go at that in court, and that they would either want to do a resolution with you or just dismiss the case entirely. I'm telling you that I see that there is going to be a high amount of people that are going to be garnished. If you live in a state that garnishes checks, it is going to be a high level of garnishments. We have a wave of things that come, like it's like tidal waves, and when there's a tidal waves can destroy, and there's also a tidal wave of opportunity. Because debt collectors do not actually have to show up in court anymore, the expense to them is even lower. They do virtual court cases now. You're virtually logging in, they're logging in, and the judge is on the screen logged in also. This is going to make it even easier for them to even file cases and go after people. And what they want to do is just to have as many garnishment orders as possible and collecting as much money as possible. That's going to be their strategy moving forward. That's always been their strategy. But now with the tidal wave of what happened with the virus, with everything being virtual, it made their job a lot easier. And now with the tidal wave of where first you had a tidal wave of social media, where that just made us all connected. And that was a benefit, a big tidal wave benefit that hit us. We have things to do on our phone when we're just sitting there at an appointment waiting or something. We always got our phone. We be at work and people are on their phones, looking at stuff on their phone. That was a tidal wave, but now also inside of that tidal wave is the ability for people that you don't necessarily want to be able to have communication with you to have the opportunity to utilize social media to communicate with you. And you're thinking, let me take a quick drink of my coffee. You might be thinking that uh, I don't have to worry because my settings are set to private. If you believe that, let me tell you how to stop believing in that. Talk about something on your phone right now. Go to your social media account and see that that information is going to be on there. Type in something on Google and then go to your social media account, and you will see that that item will be populated into your social media. This is when I talk about raising your level of awareness and stop being automatic. Everybody is so, on one hand, everybody says social media is wonderful and I'm on there and I'm worried about my privacy, so I'll set up my privacy settings. And then you see stuff right in your face where privacy is hacked, and also that they're selling our information. So why do you think that Facebook and all of the other ones, social media, TikTok, Google, Bing, all of them, why do you believe that any social media network would not give access to your information for a price? Why? Why do you believe it? Tell me, why do you believe it? Are you going to get caught up to where you're going to be like, what happened? If you owe debt collectors and they are potentially going to come after you, why are you going to allow yourself to get caught up and think that with all of the information technology that is available to all of us, and especially with companies with billions and millions and billions of dollars, that they won't be able to get your information and find out what you're doing? Why? Why do you think, to take it a step further, why do you think that they may not just hire people, which they did, people that make the phone calls for debt collection companies? These are not like some specially trained individual. They're just trained on what they can and can't say. But well, not probably, the number one thing that they look for in a person that will call for debt collection is that they are willing to harass the hell out of you. They're willing to make the phone calls. They're willing to allow themselves to be hung up on and not get frustrated, and they'll make more calls to go after people. It's a game to them. So why do you think that they won't make it a game for them? This is going to even make it more fun to be a debt collector. The people that are on the phone, the grunts. Not talking about the attorneys, I'm talking about the grunts. This is going to make it even funner for them. They're going to be at a computer. They're going to be on social media. They're going to be trying to connect the dots to see what your life is about. They already use skip tracing. Every credit, the TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, LexisNexis, MIB, which is the Medical Information Bureau, and the Telecommunications Credit Reporting Bureau, they all have skip tracing services that they sell for a fee to debt collection companies. So if they're trying to see what type of medical stuff you have in the past, they'll sell that information, not technically what you did, but they'll sell the information so they can see your addresses. If they can't locate you, you've moved or something, or you moved out of state, they have skip tracing capabilities with every bureau where all they have to do is type in your last known information and it'll just trace and connect all the dots with their algorithms, and they'll say, this is potentially that individual. They're living at this address. And then they send that dunning letter, that 30-day letter saying, you owe this debt to this original creditor, and we are contacting you about a debt, and you have 30 days to dispute it. This is the new game. But now just think, with social media, those debt collection representatives are going to be on there having so much fun on the computers. They're going to be seeing what people are doing. They're going to have fun trying to connect the dots and go around to see who could potentially be your friends. It is so easy. I'm not even going to mention it on here, to see how to find who are friends of an individual. It is so easy to make those connections on social media. So we are really going into a new realm of pressure on individuals that have bad credit and that have debt collections coming after them, debt collectors coming after them, being able to connect the dots and put a lot of pressure on people to have to pay those debts. So it is going to be even more important for you to take action, because if you take action, nothing can stop you if you take action. And so what I want to leave you with, closing out this video, is that I want everyone, and I did this at the end of the video on purpose because some people they're not getting it. And I wanted to leave this for you, for the people that are listening, that watch the video all the way to the end, is that what I want you to do is I want you to type in this into the comment section. I want you to type in there who what you are. Like, so many people think that their bad credit is them. Their situation that they're going through with their credit is them. That is not you. You have to start to think about who you are. Like, who are you? And then start thinking more and more every day, building on that. And as you do that, if you are that person who lives that life that you want to live, you think about it, you see yourself doing it, you feel yourself doing it, you start to take actions of that, what that individual would do. And that will lead you to what you have to do to start tackling your bad credit and your financial problem. You might come back and say, "Well, Steve, I don't have no money. I'm on Social Security. There is no option for me. I'm destitute. I'm barely making it." Listen to what I just said. Who are you? When you say who are you say I am. And if I am destitute, I have nothing, I have no money, I'm only on Social Security, that's who you identify yourself as being. And you're going to need to have to make a change in your thinking, and you're going to have to change who you are. And the only way you can do that is the first change on the inside. If you say, I want to repair my credit, I want to get out of debt, I want to do this and that, and you constantly think in your own mind that nothing is going to work for you because it hasn't worked for you in the past, all you're going to get, no matter if you come to me, no matter if you do it yourself, all you're going to get is disappointment, because your universe that you want to create is disappointment. So no matter what I do for you, no matter how many videos you do, no matter how many letters I do, no matter how many times I talk to people to try to work things out for you, ultimately it's going to be like, it's not going to work, or it's going to work like a little bit, because you control the universe that you want to create for yourself. And there's people that you can go to and that will help you, but it's only going to be like small success, because in your own mind you want disappointment. You just don't even know it. You want disappointment. And you want disappointment not because you consciously want disappointment, it's because you subconsciously played that record in your mind that all you get is disappointment in your life. You've played that record. You think of it like this. Think of your favorite song that you know the words of. Why do you know the words of that favorite song? And just like you know the words of that favorite song, you know the words of your disappointment. You play it in your mind. So even when you attempt to do something to change, as soon as a little piece, a little hurdle happens, you retreat and you want to quit. You want to go back inside where you don't feel that pain of disappointment. You want to get back to your disappointment because you know that at least I'm comfortable with this disappointment that I live in every day. You got to get out of that. And the best way that I know to help someone get out of it is to constantly tell your mind what to think, tell your body how to feel, tell your body how to react. You tell your mind, it is, your mind is here, or your brain is here, your mind is out here. Tell your mind, your mind goes into your brain, which is the computer. Your computer processes it, but your computer has the conscious and the subconscious. and you have to retrain that record of the subconscious, and then that will flow and your body will do what it is told. But at first, your body is going to do and tell your mind what to think. It's going to be like, this is weird. This is like very strange, but this will happen. This will happen. Okay, these are the different levels of when you know you're going to really make change. And this is what I experienced. I'm going to tell you my experiences. So, when you are trying to make change in your life, depending on your awareness level, there's several things that could happen. The first level, which I believe most people that are watching this video is that you're just going to have fear, anxiety. It's going to be false evidence appearing real. Like you're going to be like, I can't do that because it never worked for me in the past. Like you're going to be in that level of thinking. The next level of thinking is where when you break through on the mental, is that you will actually have your body give you signals to try to make you not do it. This is something that happened to me last week actually. When I woke up and I was getting ready to go do my workout, and I really didn't feel like doing the workout, but I was like, release that and get down there and start your workout. When I was walking down the stairs, my calf muscle tensed up so much and shot a pain through it so much to where it gave me a signal like, maybe you don't need to work out because I'm hurting. Like I'm talking about that calf was hurting to where like I had ruptured, I won't say not that bad because I have ruptured my Achilles before, but it was like had a feeling like don't get on there because you're going to injure me more. This is like my calf speaking to me. This is the body giving you a way out. And what I did is I just stretched it out, warmed myself up, and then I got to my workout. And do you know that pain, all of that subsided? That is the body trying to give you a signal like, hey, there's a signal coming from some part of your brain saying that you potentially don't want to work out, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an excuse so you don't have to work out. I'm going to tinge up your calf muscle. That happened to me last week. And what will happen to you is once you get past where you can allow yourself to go through the anxiety, to go through the thoughts, is the next level is your body is going to send you signals, and your body might do something to you to either make you feel sick, to where it makes you have a higher level of anxiety, sickness in your stomach, pain with migraine headaches. These are all things to try to pull you down to not go through with the next level. There's a thing that I tell all of my sales reps and I tell people about success is that you cannot pick the hurdle that you're going to have to hurdle over. If it was like that easy, then I could just say, hey, to fix your credit, these are the guaranteed hurdles you're going to have to go through. There are no guaranteed hurdles. There are hurdles that I've seen other people have to go through, and I talk about that in my videos. But everyone's situation is different in that there's going to be different hurdles for everybody. And the first hurdle, which is the one that I know that everybody got to go through, is that mental thinking and that awareness, and allow yourself to go through that anxiety and that fear without quitting. To allow yourself to go through that anxiety and fear without quitting. So I'm going to end the video here. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the CreditRepairShop.com. Subscribe to the channel. I need to get my subs up. Hit the notification bell of new videos that's coming out. If you need help with your credit, go to the website. The resource links are below the video here. If you need your credit reports and scores, I use that service to help support the channel. Go to the number 3scores.com. Thank you for your time, and until next time.